Hello, Michael and Mikkel. How are you guys?
Hi,
Good.
we're good.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So it's so nice to officially meet you guys. I know I talked on the phone with y'all and I was super excited to get you guys scheduled. My name is Gabby and I'll be your therapist. So I know I sent you guys some forms. Did you guys get a chance to read over them?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Did y'all have any questions over anything?
Pretty
No,
No
straightforward.
comments?
yeah, I think we're
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. And then I saw y'all's assessments. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do them. We're going to go over those a little bit this session, but this session is definitely going to feel more like an interview. I need to get a basis on you guys. I want to ask you guys questions and get to understand your relationship so that we can figure out what's going on and hopefully make it better. So, Mikkel, why did you guys decide to come to counseling? I want to hear individual answers.
Okay, yeah. So I think that we both are just we grew up very similar backgrounds, and that's kind of one of the things that attracted us to each other because we understood each other with our families, very family based, everything like typical gender roles, I guess you would say, like mom at home, taking care of everything, dad goes out work, and just yeah, that really worked for us. But we both work now, and we're both like, a more modernized couple, I would say. So I think we're torn between traditional roles and like more modern roles where like now we're both working, so who's gonna do what chore, who's gonna do this and that, and it's nothing that we experienced, I think, growing up. So we kind of just want to nip it in the bud before we anything like before it progresses. We don't want it to spiral. Basically, we want to just like have our relationship be better. I guess if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay. And Michael?
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure we left no stone unturned with this. Especially for something so minor, it just felt like it's been escalating rampantly, and we just, like she said, just want to just nip it in the butt now before it gets, to a more serious manner.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Okay. I know you said that you work, Mikkel. What do you do for work?
So I'm actually a therapist, and so yeah, but I work more with kids and families. So
Okay.
working with kids and families versus your own relationship, like two different things.
That can be tough.
Yeah,
And hearing everybody's stories and having to come home and deal with your own stuff.
exactly. So it can be a lot for sure.
And Michael, what do you do for work?
I am a sales manager over at Lifetime, a gym.
Okay. So y'all have a really busy schedule then.
Yes, yes, yeah. We're busy. One's working on minds, one's working on physical body. So both like wellness, just two separate sides of wellness.
Two separate spectrum. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's really neat. I saw in y'all's assessment that y'all were married in a courthouse ceremony, and then y'all decided to do a bigger wedding. So y'all have only been together, you said 4 years. Is that right?
Yeah. Four,
Okay.
4 years to change. Yeah.
4 years. And then how long have y'all been married?
A year
A year and a
and
few months.
yeah, a year and a few months.
Okay. Was there any difference between when you guys got married in the courthouse wedding versus the bigger wedding?
My answer or my answer?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think not as far as like our relationship as much as the stress of having to plan the second one. When we got married the first time, we still had the stress of the second one like going on. And so after we got married with the big wedding, it was like, oh my gosh, relief, because we the first wedding we were moving in for the first time together, so we finally lived together. We were changing houses, we were renovating. It was kind of chaotic and crazy. And so the second time it was just relief because everything was already still the same. We were already married, like had done the thing. Uh, so I think that was the only real change, right? I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
What do y'all think is the most positive thing about your relationship or your marriage?
It's hard to just isolate one thing.
Well, that's a good point. That's good.
Okay, let me try to isolate and you can piggyback if you come up with anything else, okay? I think one of our biggest strong suits is that we're just the commitment to each other, because like I said, we come from very strong families who are like family based, I guess, like family first, family, everything. So I think our commitment to each other is extremely strong, and our willingness to, make it work and figure out like how to adjust when we need to, how to move things
Okay.
around. So we're willing to do that kind of thing. We're not just going to be stagnant, because we think that, family's our top priority. So I would say that's probably anything else? No, that's about it.
Michael, what do you think are your strengths as a couple?
Strengths as a couple. I mean, we're there for each other no matter what the situation may be. Like you say, we're taking your vows for better or for worse. We complete each other. I don't really do very much cooking, so she's got that, and she knows that. Whenever it comes down to taking care of any the bills, I got that taken care of for her, and so yeah, it's like a circle.
Mhm.
Well, good. It sounds like that's a commitment is very important to you guys. So what is one of the hardest things for y'all?
What's hard?
Yeah. The hardest thing for us, I think that we both are, we're both stubborn. We're both very stubborn because we come from strong families. And yeah, right. Extremely so, like we're set our ways, right? Like my family did it this way. Well, my family did it this way. And we both think that like our way is what should be done, even though they're similar, they're not the exact same. So I think that's one of our biggest like, head butting things maybe. It's just that we're both very much, well, I'm right because my family did it this way, and that's just how it is. That's probably.
So you guys are having maybe a little bit of difficulty adapting maybe to each other, and how your family did it versus his family. So okay.
Yes, trying to like merge the two, I guess, or like figure out where to give, where to take.
Finding y'all's normal or what you guys are about. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about how you guys met and some general history in your relationship.
We met at the rodeo cook-off. What was it? Over 4 years ago?
Over 4 years ago, yeah.
Over 4 years ago. And then from there, we messaged each other online. Didn't immediately start going out, and then just randomly, I heard from Miss McKell, and we went on one date, and the rest is history from that point.
He got me, yeah. He got me after the first official date. Yeah, so he's right. We met at the rodeo cook-off. I knew his brother before, and that's how we got kind of like introduced. But at the time, I was in grad school, so I was very much focused on work or school, and didn't want a distraction. So I really thought he was cute and thought he was cool, but I was like, okay, it is what it is. We had a nice time, that. But he was persistent, and he, asked me out, or not asked me out, but we just like messaged me a couple of times, and then I was like randomly like, you know what, hey, like we should hang out, and like some of my friends were there and some of my family was there too, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then from there, we went on like a date, and we literally started dating immediately after that. Like it wasn't like a long talking stage or anything. It was just like, we really like each other. Let's, make this official.
It came naturally.
Yeah, it did.
It came naturally. Well, that's nice. That's a really sweet story. And I can see as you guys are talking about it, y'all's face lights up. So that's always a positive. I saw in y'all's assessments that faith is a very integral part of y'all's lives. So I do want to ask you the question, if God would answer all of your prayers for your relationship and a miracle was performed, what would that relationship look like after that?
You want us to answer like individually or like to get like,
I guess, Michael, let me hear yours, and then Mikkel, I'll hear you what you have to say about it.
It'd be exactly how it is right now.
nothing would change?
Nothing would change.
Nothing.
Okay,
Nothing.
so nothing would change. Okay.
Yeah.
He's scoring some brownie points over here.
Mhm.
For me, um, for me, I think we would be able to let go of, as important as our family history was, we would be able to communicate without that past, from like the past, like where I grew up and how he grew up. We would be able to communicate aside from that and be able to create our own life and focus just on us more so, and not be worried about outside factors or past things. And probably just open to communication a little bit better. I know I can get easily offended with like, even if he tells me something really small, like, hey, can you, or why don't you do this? And I'm like, excuse me, you know what? And I can get like my feelings hurt really easily and shut down. So I think if God answered my prayers, I would be more open maybe. And like I said, some of the past, like our families, we wouldn't be so stubborn. We'd be able to just, you know, create our own thing without the pressures of society or family from our, you know, cultural pressures.
Okay.
That makes, yeah, okay.
No, that makes sense. It does. Who do you feel like is more, who had the more traditional upbringing? I know, Michael, on your assessment, you did write that you had a unique upbringing. You're Jewish and then also, I mean, Jewish and Greek. So do you feel like you have a more traditional upbringing than Mikkel? I know, Mikkel, you do have a Hispanic upbringing, but your ties are not as close as Michael's are. I know his family's first generation. So who do you think has the more traditional views, I guess the more rigid views of the way things should be?
I don't know. Sure, we can throw you. It's fine.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Me,
Can always be you.
it always, yeah. Well, I think honestly, even though he is first generation, he's, I would say, more stubborn with things.
More stubborn?
More stubborn. But I do probably have more like rigid roles. As far as like a woman does not have to, you know, do anything outside of the house type thing. Even though I work, so I'm like a walking contradiction, but like in my head, it makes sense. Sorry, the dogs are.
Oh no, it's okay.
He's ushering them out, and so they're not so loud. So I would say that I probably am more traditional, but then I get mad because I also work, so I like flip flop back and forth, and I think that's kind of our struggle. Because one second I'm telling him, you know, let's be modern, and then I'm like, my mom did not do any of this because she did not work, and so we're, you know, and then we're going like this because I'm flip flopping in my traditional values versus not. He's a little more, you know, we can change and be different. We can both work. We can do this. We can do that. But when it comes to chores, I would say he's probably more traditional.
Okay, so you have a more traditional thought process, but when it comes to actions, he has the more traditional take on it, I suppose. Okay. Michael, did your mom work? Did your parents both work?
Yes.
Okay, so both your parents, okay. Okay. So I saw that spirituality is rated pretty high for you guys. Do you think that's a central, how important is that in y'all's life? And as far as how do you use your faith to solve some of your relationship problems?
Yeah, I think that faith is a really big central, like we talked about it when we got married, the first time was the courthouse, the second time was at the church. And we would always be like, we're not married in front of the eyes of God yet. So it doesn't feel like real until we really do it in front of God. So it's very central. I think that we use prayer together. Like
Okay.
we pray together. Probably not as often as we should, but we do it. Like especially when things are tough, we'll like be like, hey, let's just pray about it together. And we do church on Sundays. Pray consistently, which is super important. And something that when we got married at the church, that the preacher said, or the father said, he said that, you know, basically you can have a good life, but it's always better with God in it. Like he used the story of Jesus with the wine, and you know, when he created the wine, they had good wine, they ran out, and then when God created the wine, obviously it's gonna be the best wine they've ever had. So the wine before was good, but with God, it's always gonna be better. And so we kind of talk to each other about that all the time too. It's just like we're good, but we need God here to make it better. We need him to like make us better.
So you do feel like that God has put you two together and he is the center of y'all's relationship.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Is there anything else that you guys think that might be a hindrance to therapy?
No, not really. Just more. I would say the only thing is like day-to-day struggles of like finding time to do this. Obviously, like I said, we both are busy. And when we're not busy doing work stuff or taking care of our household, we're busy with family stuff. So sometimes like doing extra stuff for a relationship, like therapy, can be put on the back burner because we're like, we have this or we have that, or we have friends too, and most of our friends are single too. So that's another thing. They're all like out doing this, and we try to join them because we like love our friends too. And so we're always doing something. We're always like going somewhere, doing something. So that would probably be the main hindrance, I would say, to therapy, is just like timing and making sure that we create time for counseling.
To do the counseling.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a couple of things. Okay, so it was really nice to hear from you guys. It was great to hear from you, Mikkel. I know that you had addressed your concerns. Michael, I know you were a little bit more quiet this session, which is completely okay. So what I do want to do, I want to assign you guys some homework. I want to help develop active listening in y'all's relationship, okay? Which is talking to understand and ready to respond. So you want to give Mikkel the chance to talk and then listen and really take in what she's trying to tell you, if that makes sense. And Mikkel, you do the same for Michael. I know you guys were talking about having problems with chores, figuring out, you feel like it's a little bit unequal. So what I want you to do is make a list of each other's chores individually and the time that it takes and what your schedule really is. Michael, what does your day consist of? And Mikkel, what does your day consist of? And then next session, what I want to do, I want to see those, and we can bring them in, and we can talk about them to see if we can understand each other. You know, I can help you guys understand each other better. And then the next homework, I know you guys said that, I know you're busy, but if you guys could take a little bit of time out of each day, maybe every morning, every evening, to get together with each other. And what I want you to do is write 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for in your relationship. And maybe even every evening, meet with each other about it. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I think we can do that, right? Yeah, it'll probably be evening time because mornings we're like go, go, go. But I think evening time we could probably take a few minutes before we watch our nightly, TV shows together to do some gratitude.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Like I said, it was so nice to meet you guys. I'll be in contact with y'all. I will send y'all some of the assessments and what I think, and then we can agree on a treatment plan and then go from there. So I have you guys scheduled for next Sunday.
Okay.
Is that
that sounds-
okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
right.
Well, thank you guys. I'll see you guys
Thank
next
you.
time.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Gabby.